Hello, my name is Kelsey Leverton and I'm a postural stability instructor for the Steady Steps exercise programme for Leicester City Council's Live Well Leicester team. I will take you through a series of 6 checks. These are called functional assessments or baseline checks. And a bit further down the line, these can be repeated as a progress check to see how the Steady Steps exercise programme is working for you. The reason we do these checks are as follows. It allows your instructor to understand you as a person and an individual. It also allows the instructor to plan for what is going to be beneficial for you with regards to the exercises in the session. An understanding like this helps us with exercise tailoring and alternatives and adaptations that may be given to you as you are taking part in the exercise session. These checks will require you to assess and grade yourself. And there will be some gradings of each one of them that will be displayed after I've shown you what is coming. We have 6 all in all, and you will need a few items of equipment. Before I go into the items of equipment that you may need, it's important that you understand the following. If you feel unsafe or unwell at any point doing any of these checks, then please stop. Take a pause. It may be that it's not right for you to do that particular one today. It may be that you would feel better with a friend, a relative to support you when having a go. So it doesn't matter if you don't get them all done right now. It's more important that you feel confident when you are doing them. The equipment that you need. A dining chair would be a great start for a seated posture in our first 3 checks. The first 3 are internal and external shoulder rotation, and we have a seated hamstring flexibility check to do. For others, we need to always have, when in standing positions, options for handheld support around us. So have a look where you would feel comfortable and have a look at what you may use to hold on to throughout some of these movements. For the timed up and go, you will need to measure a 3-metre walking space. And this space needs to be free of obstacles or potential trip hazards. You may use your normal walking aid when doing any of the standing movements. So think about what you would feel comfortable with. You will also need a tape measure so that you are able to measure how far you can reach when we get to a functional reach check that we do. I think that's all to mention about equipment. Oh, one other thing, you'll need a stopwatch for the timed up and go. It's timed, so we need you to get a gauge of how long it is taking you to do that particular one. Have a watch, then consider whether you'd like to have a go, and then maybe re-watch it again, and then write down your results onto a piece of paper that you can share with your Steady Steps instructor at a later date. You will need a chair that you're able to sit upright in. and you've got space to move your arms around you. Take a hip walk, lifting and shifting towards the front third of the chair. So you're sitting unsupported with active posture. Your feet are flat on the floor too. Here, take your dominant arm first and take it over to see where you can reach to. It may be that you can only reach so far. Recover, make a note of what you've achieved, and then change onto the other side. Again, taking the arm up and over to reach as far down your back as you possibly can without forcing the movement and without moving into where you experience pain. Make your note on what you've just achieved from your right side and your left side. This requires you to sit in exactly the same position and posture as you did for the previous one. We reach the arm, this time round to the back, and then try and reach it as high as you possibly can without changing your posture or forcing the movement. That's one side, and then have a go at the other side. Notice if there's a difference. You're reaching the arm round to the back and then recovering. So this shouldn't feel forced, it shouldn't feel painful. And as you sit in your tall, active posture, your posture shouldn't change either. Take a moment to just jot down what you got there, how far you could reach up into your back area. The next one we shall move on to involves the legs, and this is the seated hamstring flexibility test. One leg is required to be straight as you can through that knee, with the toes pointing upwards. Here I'm still in the front portion of my chair with an upright, active posture. Placing both hands onto the straight leg, maintaining your upright, active posture, you're going to steadily move down, reaching down as far as you can go. You will feel a pull along the back of your thigh and behind your knee. Recover steadily out of that position as well. With this particular technique, the tilting forwards, as soon as your back starts to round or curve over to facilitate how far you can reach, then stop, rewind a little bit, go back to a position where your back can remain straight. Here we are on the other side, so leg out straight, the knees not bent at all there. It's straight, my arms are straight, my back is upright and straight with the posture. And here's the tilt forwards, moving steadily as far as you can without forcing it, without it becoming painful, and certainly without bouncing as well. Recover steadily back into your upright posture and bring the leg back. And that's your hamstring flexibility check. Make a note of what you've achieved on the right side and the left side. The next one we have is called the functional reach. Maybe the most trickiest to do on your own. So you may choose to wait until you've got somebody to help you with this particular one, or you may decide that you're not able to do it, and that's okay. Have a look at it anyway, and you can make a decision as to how you want to make this work for you. I've got the tape measure attached with a bit of blue tack to my super-sized measuring board here. We do this from standing, and the aim is to reach forwards and out of your base of support safely, comfortably, as far as you can reach. So here I line up my arm, my fingertips, with the number 1 on the measuring stick. Keeping my shoulders facing forwards, I'm going to bend at the hips, sit my bottom back, and see how far I can reach forwards comfortably, safely, and without touching any external support. I'm not touching the wall. I'm keeping my shoulders square to the front as you lean forwards. And there you have your functional reach. Hopefully you've been able to see where you were able to reach along the tape measure and make a record of that. And we can have a look at that in conjunction with the rest of our baseline checks. The next check that we're going to do is called a 180-degree turn, and it requires you to move into a standing position and to take some steady steps to turn yourself around. You will need to count the steps that you're taking to get from facing in one direction to the other. First of all, I need to bring myself into a standing position, tucking the feet back, lengthening the posture and powering up into standing. I've got lots of options of support around me, and you might feel more confident having support around you, such as a bookcase, a wall, a switched off radiator, and there's a windowsill back there somewhere too. You may be in a corner unit of where your kitchen is. That might feel better for you. So we've done our sit to stand. I'm going to turn towards the support in case I need to hold on to it at any point as I turn around. Counting the steps. Take a pause. So I just turned then over my left shoulder. I've counted how many steps I've completed, and now I shall return, walking around over my right shoulder and counting the steps on your way back round as well. To count the steps, it's a whole step that we're counting, and even if there's an adjustment at the end, for example, if you took 5 steps and then adjusted your foot, then that would need to be counted as another step. The final check for us to do is called a timed up and go. This is where you need to have measured out a 3-metre walking space that is of course free of obstacles or rugs or anything like that. You begin timing yourself from the moment you attempt to stand up. You will then walk 3 metres, take a steady turn around, walk back towards your chair and sit down at the point in which the timing is stopped. Take your score and record what you've got from there. Here's how it looks. Sitting on the front portion of the chair. Getting ready with the timer. Beginning the timer as you stand. Walk at your normal pace. Turn in a steady way. Return back to your chair, taking another steady turn and sitting back down. That is when your stop clock is stopped and you are able to record how long that took you. If you normally use a frame or you normally use a stick to walk with within your house, then please use that walking aid. Make a record of whether you did use a walking aid as well, else this is useful information for your Steady Steps instructor to understand.